What's up YouTube, Zero here, and today I have my MCW Assassin build. In this video I'll go over the gun attachments that you're going to need for this Assassin build, and then I'll go over the class setup for this MCW Assassin build. Before I get into it, I do want to say if you do enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. For more Call of Duty content, I do a bunch of other videos, so feel free to check those out as well. Thank you so much in advance for doing so. Without further ado, let's get into this MCW Assassin build. So first things first, when are you actually gonna use this? Well, really any time you want to be stealthy. This is for sneaky players. You want to sneak around the map, you don't want enemies to know where you are, this is going to be a fantastic build for you. Now, of course, if you do enjoy capturing objectives, it is going to be a little bit harder to be stealthy. Of course, the enemy is alerted when you are capturing objectives. If you're on a hard point, the enemy is alerted that you're on the hard point. If you're capturing a domination zone, the enemy is alerted that you're on a domination zone. However, getting to those areas, you can be stealthy, you can clear out the area with this build. So without further ado, let's talk about the attachments on this MCW. First things first, we're gonna have a muzzle, and this muzzle is gonna have the Echoline GSX. What this does is it's gonna make you undetectable by radar, of course, your typical suppressor, and it's actually going to help out with the firing aim stability. I found that on not just the MCW, but all guns, firing aim stability is absolutely awesome. It helps you fire straighter. Now, these are going to come at a cost of damage range, but that's pretty typical of a lot of suppressors. You are going to lose at least a little bit of range, which isn't a bad thing. Previous Call of Duties, you always lost range on a suppressor. There are other suppressors in the game, but I like this one for the MCW that makes you undetectable by radar, increases your firing aim stability at a cost of a little bit of damage range. Now, next we're gonna have a barrel, and this is gonna be the 16.5 MCW Cyclone long barrel. What this is gonna do is it's gonna increase our bullet velocity and range, it's gonna increase our aiming idle sway, and it's also gonna increase our firing aim stability. This is gonna be at a cost of hip fire and tactical stance spread, aim walking speed, and sprint to fire speed. I found a lot more so with the MCW than some of the other guns is I'm a little bit more methodical and slow with the MCW. On top of that, being stealthy, you may not always need your sprint to fire speed or your aim walking speed to be as fast as some of the other guns, and of course you're probably not going to be hip firing as much as well, but making sure your bullets shoot straight, making sure you're as accurate as possible when you are being stealthy so you can dispatch those enemies fairly quickly before they know you're there is absolutely critical. And that's why I love this, increasing the bullet velocity and range. Of course, we had our range taken away from our suppressor, so this is bringing it back. It increases some of our accuracy as well, so I do love that for this gun. Then on the laser, we are going to keep it simple, the SE1MW PEQ. This is just going to increase our aiming stability. Again, I mentioned it before, but aiming stability is very critical, so you are shooting straight and dispatching those enemies fairly quickly, because you can get a lot of headshots when you're shooting like a laser. So this is absolutely perfect for that. Again, I'm going to keep it simple with the optic. I'm using the MK3 reflector. I just found that when I'm using this optic, I just shoot straighter. I don't know what it is, but I love this optic, and it really helps for getting those headshots and dispatching enemies quickly. And finally, the last but not least attachment on this gun for the sneaky MCW build is going to be a stock. It's going to be the RB Precision Heavy Stock. What this is going to do is it's going to increase our aiming idle sway or make it better, and it's also going to help with firing aim stability at a cost of aim walking speed and movement speed. But this is absolutely great for shooting like a laser. And you can even see I typically don't like to utilize an assassin build on shipment just because there are grenades flying everywhere, so I typically like to protect myself from that. However, I felt confident enough in this build to take it on shipment and do extremely well with it. This is a really fun build. It's great when you want to be stealthy and sneaky. You can really do a lot of damage. You can see in a lot of these, a lot of enemies aren't even noticing me or paying attention to me because I am being stealthy and sneaky. So it's awesome to get a lot of kills. I do really well on shipment with this build. Even though I'm not protecting from grenades, I do fantastic. Now let's talk about the overarching build of the MCW Sneaky Assassin build. You're gonna go with the Assassin Vest. Now what this is gonna do, kills don't display skulls and immune to UAV and enemy radar effects. This is including while stationary, so that's even better. If you have to reload, if you have to do something in which you're not able to move, maybe you're actually on hard point or domination and your teammate is capturing the zone and you're hiding somewhere to protect them, that really works out well for this build, because even if there's a UAV, you can hide and dispatch the enemy before they get to your teammate that is capturing the zone. So that's great for this build. Now, the secondary, I use the Renetti. I really love the Renetti as a secondary. You can choose whichever secondary you feel most confident in. You're not going to be using it a ton, really, just when you run out of ammo in your MCW, and it does happen every once in a while, especially on these closer range maps like Shipment, where you are taking on enemies quickly. You may have to swap to a secondary rather than reload. For the tactical, I do have a flash grenade. I go back and forth between flashes and stuns. Choose whichever one you prefer. For this build, I prefer the flash so the enemy can't see me. I can throw my flash and they get blinded for a little bit. And that's nice because, again, this is a stealthy build and flash is going to help you remain stealthy. For the lethal, I have a Semtex. I like to just throw these anywhere and everywhere. I don't need to cook it. It just sticks. And this helps me sometimes get away from enemies when they know I'm at a certain area. I can just throw it and get away if I need to instead of having to cook it. Now for the gloves, I have Scavenger. This is gonna help me get more ammo for my gun so I can stick with my sneaky build. I won't have to worry about switching guns. If I am on a hot streak, I don't want to worry about running out of ammo. I have Stalker Boots on. Stalker Boots are going to help with increased strafe and aim down sight movement speed. These, of course, nice. Some of the movement speed was taken away from some of my attachments, and this is going to help get it back a little bit. And finally, I have the mag holster, which is going to improve the reload speed, which is always nice in really any scenario, because you're going to be able to get that quicker reload. If you do start to run out of ammo, you can reload quicker. Of course, I love that. But let me know in the comments section what you think of this build. I love this build. It is great for players who want to be stealthy. And again, it's good for any game mode in which you want to be stealthy. Of course, capturing objectives, the enemy is going to know you're there, but you can sneak and hide and allow your teammates to capture while you're sneaking and killing those enemies before they get to your teammates. So I hope you enjoy this video, and until next time, peace.